welcome back to Nothing Settle Here. This is your host, Leah, and we are about to drop episode 3. In fact, we are going to pick up right where we left off last time, and we are going to continue reading from the journal, The Secrets of What Lies Within. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button and follow the links to stay up to date and to continue on this journey with us. All right, we are ready. And by we, I mean hopefully you are, because I don't know if I will ever be ready. Every time I go to open a journal, my heart starts to race. So here we go. The Secrets of What Lies Within. The date for this one is August 11th, 2005. So I believe it was just the following month after the one that I read last time. To my precious child, my heart desires so much for you. I want only the best for you. I want you to be happy, healthy, full of joy, a strong leader of God, and to always feel loved and accepted. Please understand, I'm doing everything in my power to give you only the best. I quit Ruby Tuesdays due to an unhealthy environment, but I got a new job right away. I'm now working at Golden Corral. Wow. Things so far aren't working out for mommy's school. I'm on a waiting list and it's all in God's hands. I've just finished the paperwork for the apartments and I'm just waiting for the interview to see if I get it. I spoke with your aunt the other night to get health records and I told her all about you. This is your dad's aunt. Last night, I went out of my way to reach out to your dad again, and we actually spoke for a few hours. I explained to him everything. He even said he was going to try and come to the doctor's on September 6th with me. He told me he missed me and wanted to hug me and reassured me to not give up on him and to keep having hope in him. He always said that he didn't know when he was going to come around, but that he was. Which I don't think is very fair. I want to believe him, I want to trust him, but he hasn't done anything yet to back up his words. So I want to let you know I still have hope in your dad, and I want this to all work out for us. But I can't get my hopes up. He needs to do this for himself, and for no other reason. I keep praying for him, because God is the only one who can change hearts. But I want you to know no matter what happens, I'm here for you, always, and you can always count on me. P.S. I've been puking and not feeling well at all. Please stop. Oh, and you're about 7.5 weeks old. And your first gift was from your auntie and Uncle Taylor. You got a stone necklace from New Zealand. Love, Mommy. Well, I actually remember this. I was transferring schools from New York and I was actually going to go to a Christian school. And when they found out that I was pregnant and unwed, they withdrew my application after I was already accepted. And, looking back on that, I think that caused a lot of pain for me, additional pain of feeling judged and like I was such a screw up and there was nothing that I could do about it or to redeem myself. And in fact, I remember calling that school and telling them that I would live off campus because I really had felt like that's where I wanted to be. I was trying to turn my life around. And I knew I needed to be in a different environment than where I was at my previous university. And they had still declined, and they said that it was not up to their, what was the word they used? Like their standard or their rules or regulations, that an unwed pregnant woman could not attend their school. And wow. I know that God works all things out, and I know now that he still had a plan and did all of that, but man, what a missed mark, if I could say that. You know what? I can say that. I felt so judged. And in this moment, I feel like I'm judging them. Like, how dare you, like, tell me that I couldn't go to a school that I had clearly had the grades to get into, all because I was pregnant and didn't meet your perfection of a non-sinner, if you will, and that I would not fit their image of a student at a Christian school. And how disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. In fact, I feel frustrated even right now when I think about it. I feel disappointed that that would be a decision that believers would make. And man, how many times people of the church hold to their laws more than they do to meeting people where they're at. Can be so discouraging. I am thankful in the long run because God did work things out, but in that moment it felt like yet another blow of, how am I ever going to do this? Where am I going to be able to go to school and still pursue a future for myself and now my unborn child? And I'm so thankful for the people that came around me that did love me and met me where I was at and didn't pass judgment, and just were really the hands and feet of Christ and loving me through a very difficult, weary time. And so a little extra side note that many of you wouldn't know, but my son Isaiah is actually the one who does all the editing for my podcasts, but he doesn't sit in the room when I actually record. And I found myself this week being so anxious, knowing that he was going to begin to listen to the podcast so that he could post them and put the music at the beginning, because I just do not know how to do that. And he is really creative and just is so good at those types of things. And I found myself being so anxious and shame really creeping back in. And I needed to remind myself that when we expose ourselves, not only are we exposing ourselves to healing and to freedom, and really allowing light to come in, right beside that, we are also exposing ourselves and making ourselves vulnerable to all the things like shame and regret and doubt and fear. And we need to make a choice. I needed to make a choice in reconciling what that was going to be for me. I needed to remember what it was like to go through this journey and know that there is no shame, that God had broken me free of that shame, that there is no bondage of my past, that my past can no longer hold me captive. And I needed to make a decision this week that I was going to live in freedom still, and that shame couldn't hold me anymore, and that I had dealt with that. And it's so amazing that when you relive an experience or you go through something, how quickly those emotions begin to attach themselves to you again. And I needed to do a lot of self-talk. I needed to talk to myself and remind myself of where I had come from and where I am now. And that's not a overly confident, like I don't have any baggage. That is just stating that I have done the work, and it's okay to admit my past. It's okay to be honest about my past, because I don't live there anymore. I don't live in my past anymore. I live here in the present. I live in the now. And I know that God has taken my past and given it purpose. So much purpose. Purpose in pain. Those very words are written in the front of my Bible, that if God gave it a yes, then that meant that the purpose was going to be greater than the pain that I was going to endure. And man, when I tell you, when you get to the other side of that, you can look back and be relieved and be able to see it. But when you are going through it, it is messy and it is hard, and it can be confusing and feel quite hopeless. And I know that there's many, many more pages in this journal that is filled with some hopelessness and discouragement, and not really sure when I would see the light at the end of the tunnel, or if there was even an end at that tunnel. And so I hope that encourages you. I hope that it reminds you to keep going, that if you allow God to take the pain, He will bring purpose. But the key to that, friends, is that you have a choice to make. The choice is actually yours. You get to choose if you're going to hang on and attach yourself to the pain, and that you won't release it. See, the choice is in releasing. The choice is saying, God, I give you this pain, and I ask you to do whatever you want with it. And it is in that decision, in that release, that God can begin to use it for purpose. But friends, the choice is yours. The choice is yours if you're going to hang on to it or if you'll release it. And I think that always goes back to the question of if we trust Him. Do we trust Him? Sometimes I am asking myself that multiple times a day. Do I trust you with this? Do I trust you with this pain? Do I trust you with this heartache? And that is a really honest question to ask yourself. Do I trust you? Do I trust you, God, with this? So friends, until next time, I'll see you then.